around the nation, we've seen these horrific incidents. I want to talk about active shooter, large-scale critical incidents, people driving cars into crowds. Most importantly, locally, right? Well, they're all important, but for us here talking about Miami-Dade County Sheriffs, we're talking about locally. Just north of us in Broward, we had the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas not too long ago. And I want to know what your plan is when you become sheriff. How do you plan to address this critical incident, like horrific thing from happening in Miami-Dade County? What is your training? What resources you're going to use? Just expand a little bit on that.
Well, Nick, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, and that's scary.
Happen. And it's scary.
Yeah.
Look, the FBI just put a report out to all the sheriff agencies in the United States. There are more red flags today than before 911. So that's alarming. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's something that we need to take into consideration. Look, active shooter is something that we as a sheriff's department, we're going to have to train, okay? It's all about training. I could tell you the two best schools right now for active shooters with the advanced law enforcement rapid response training. You have LSU, which is an incredible university that has one of the best programs, and the other one is Texas State University. Active shooter is very simple. Every officer, and this is going to get, if there is an active shooter anywhere in this community, you cannot wait for the SWAT team to get there.
Correct.
You cannot wait for people to assemble outside the parking lot to go in. It is going to be the first officer who responds that has to go in there quickly and stop the killing and stop the dying, okay? Now, the department is going to have the best training when it comes to that. And we have the rapid response team, which is a good team. Those are the individuals that might get there before. But my fear is that the first person who's going to get there is going to be the officer who's closest to the incident.
Right.
And that officer has to get in there, be trained to get in there and terminate the threat as quickly as possible. And I feel that by us training with our department, other departments, school board, look, one of the things that I'm going to do, and I'm going to put it out here, and I've said some things, and some candidates steal my ID. One of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to deputize every police officer in the county. I'm going to deputize them. So you can't give me an excuse, hey, man, it's out of my jurisdiction. No, I'm on my way to work. No, I'm going to deputize. I'm going to go from municipality to municipality and deputize everybody, talk to the chiefs, see if they want to get involved, and deputize them. Because when it comes to active shooting, we've learned from the mistakes of others. So we have no excuse. If we have the adequate training, and we could train our officers to get it there quickly as possible without having to get there and put on their gear and go to the trunk and get their weapon. No. You get in there, and whatever you have, you get in there. Mm. Now, the other officers are going to come back with the adequate training. They're going to come in, and they're going to be support, backup. But you are the one that's going to have to go there and stop the killing and dying as quickly as possible.
I want to go back to the deputization of because I'm excited. I'm going to be a deputy pretty soon.
We're all going to be sheriffs
if that comes through. But with that, would you say that would be specifically for an event, or there be some kind of threshold, or you can just take traffic stops, or if you see something?
Look, my job as sheriff is to have a multiplier of services. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a term used in law enforcement which is called the omnipresence. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've heard about it, but in law enforcement, it means that you go out there and you see officers.
Yeah,
you
see
officers.
Visibility, yeah.
And high visibility. So when you see officers, you feel safe. You know that you're being provided a service.
Yeah.
Now, how are we going to do that? Well, it's very simple. It's boots on the ground. Mm-hmm. You don't have to come in and use these, operational technology, FBI training, law. Boots on the ground. Police officers out there doing what they need to be doing, okay? Because what happens in the department that we have, there's a lot of people that are in there doing administrative jobs, secretarial jobs, and those are jobs that could be done by civilians. Pay them half the price and get these officers that are making good salary to go out there and do what they're trained to do and paid to do, which is to fight crime. And not just put them out on the street, put them in key positions where they could serve the public. And I think that we could accomplish that. I am the leader who will sit down with everybody. I am one who could bring consensus to try to focus on our number one priority, which is to make sure that our community is well protected. There is no fear when you go out on the street, and that we're there for public safety. And that's what people want. Look, it's a service. My campaign is law and order. I'm running as a candidate of law and order. It's not just a political slogan. It's what we desire.
Yeah.
It's what we deserve. You know, you want your mom, dad to go out and go to Publix or go to church and not have to have fear about being a victim. Yep. And we have that responsibility. Man, we took that oath. Yep. We took that oath. We wanted that job. We want to protect the public. We're going to go out there and we're going to do the best we can. And you know what? People will respect you for what you do. People appreciate it. The greatest satisfaction that I get is when I'm having a cup of coffee, somebody in a uniform, and somebody comes in, hey, thank you for your service.
That feels good.
It does.
I like that.
Thank you for your service. Man, it's amazing. It's amazing when people, you know.
Yeah.
But then we have to do our part.
Yeah.
When we walk in an establishment, talk to people.
Yeah.
How many times have you been in a restaurant and you see the 5 or 6 police officers come in and not talk to anybody?
Yeah.
They don't talk to anybody. Yeah. I go into a restaurant, I talk to everybody. As a matter of fact, sometimes, hey, man, you're bothering me. I don't care. That's just the type of guy I am. I'm there to sell my presence to you, that I'm a police officer. Man, I'm here to serve you.
Let me ask you, and we'll move on.
No.
But I like that. Omnipolicing?
Omnipresence.
Omnipresence.
Yes.
That's a big thing.
Yes.
And I just
Law
want
enforcement technology, language, but
but
more boots on the ground, more police officers on the street.
I like it.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, that's why they took a lot of like 2-man units out, because you want both cars.
Yeah.
It's more
Listen,
high visibility.
I think law enforcement has evolved in the many years that I've been in law enforcement. I think when it comes to community policing, we've done an incredible job, but I think we need to take it a step further. I really do. I think that we need to be in sync with a very diversified community. I mean, we have a county that's very diversified. Yeah. And listen, I'm be honest with you. Some sectors get the white glove treatment. Some have to fend for themselves. Because the response time is not what it should be, and I think if we work together and we come together as a whole, entire 35 municipalities coming together with the sheriff's office, everybody deputized, I think we could provide a much better service.
I like it.